Hi everyone. There is a very specific energy that I want to take a look at in today's reading. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the messages because I'm really feeling the flow of this thread of energy coming through. And specifically, we are going to be taking a look at a situation where someone is giving mixed signals in a connection or being a bit confusing. So, this might be someone who comes off as a little hot and cold, or where you feel as though sometimes you are really deeply connecting with this person and very in sync with them only to feel at other times as though they're almost kind of dropping off the face of the map. So I am going to be shuffling the cards here and tapping into what could be potentially happening in this situation. But prior to setting up my decks here on my desk, I got the cards Union and Unawakened. So interestingly, I'm picking up on someone who is very heavily thinking about wanting a union with you, wanting this connection to be long term. In fact, I'm hearing that this is something they are almost frantically thinking about. Now, the reason that there is this frantic essence kind of to it is I feel that you recognized, you sensed a soul contract with this particular person, but now it's almost like they are scrambling to stay connected to you. I keep getting imagery around being on the phone with someone and you start to lose the connection, and it's almost like they sense that there is this fuzzy connection with you, but that is making them very urgent to want to stay on the line. And it's also making them afraid that you're going to hang up the phone here. I know it's not a perfect metaphor, but that's kind of what is coming through in this situation. Now, I'm getting that you are most likely connecting as the divine feminine here, and this person is more so resonating with their masculine because they are coming up as the King of Cups. Something that you did or said somehow really suddenly connected this person with their emotions. It's almost like something just clicked into place for them that they were unconscious of or not aware of for a long time. And this caused this kind of frantic feeling within them of scrambling to want to stay connected with you. So maybe it's not so much what you did or said as something that you didn't do or didn't say. Maybe you actually pulled back your energy or your communication from this person, or maybe it was something specific that you said to them that somehow triggered something within them and caused them to realize that if they don't take action, they're going to lose you. My guides just keep telling me that you sensed the connection first, that you sensed the soul connection or the soul contract between the two of you. And in fact, that is why you felt so drawn to this person, because you intuitively picked up on some kind of energetic bond with them that they were very unconscious of or even dismissive about. This may be someone who actually initially treated you very superficially and hearing treated you like all the others. So maybe at the time they had many other romantic people or options in their life, and they may have treated you in the same way that they treated these more superficial, surface level karmic feminine energies around them, but somehow something has clicked into place for this person, and it is completely altering how they want to interact with you. But I'm hearing, is it too late to change the nature of our connection or of our interactions? So this might be a masculine wondering if they waited too long wondering if it's too late to approach you in an entirely different manner. And I'm hearing shift it from being a connection that they treat very casually to being one that they hold in high regard and treat very seriously. For some reason, that word serious just keeps coming up. Like, this is someone who wants you to take them seriously, but who also wants to treat this connection with a kind of seriousness, with a kind of sacred kind of approach. Now, the problem is that when they approached you initially or in the beginning stages of this connection, they were treating it very the opposite. They were acting dismissive of it or treating it as fleeting or superficial. So they're going to have to put in a lot of effort and action to show you that they desire to treat this connection in a serious way. And I feel that you are really holding the bar or holding the standard for this masculine to need to show you with their words and with their consistent actions that they want to approach this differently, because I feel that they've tried to almost like skate by here or just to naturally shift this connection into something more serious. And you've been resistant to that because you aren't allowing this person to just re enter your life fully without first showing you that they regard and respect this connection on a much higher level than they did in the past. And the way that they need to show that is through their actual 3D communication, consistency, words, and actions. So let's go ahead and reshuffle here. I'm hearing with again those cards unawakened and union, it's almost as though a masculine who has been living in a very unawakened manner is also now strongly desiring this union with you. When I say they've been living in an unawakened manner, this could look very different from person to person, but I am getting that for some of them, they might have more of a party lifestyle, or they might participate in what we might think of as lower vibrational substances or activities, or in lower vibrational groups or conversations or environments. And this has brought a lot of chaos, a lot of turbulence into their life. They've noticed that you live your life very differently, that you have this inner core of peace and stability. And as your energy has worn on this masculine over time, they've noticed that after being in your presence or communicating with you or being around you, some of your peace almost wears off on them. I'm seeing plants. Maybe someone has house plants here. I'm also seeing fish. So possibly someone has fish or an aquarium. But I'm also getting some imagery around fish symbolism. So fish can symbolize the unconscious mind because they live in the depths and are elusive. Interesting. So that is almost verbatim what I was picking up on as far as how this person perceives you. They perceive you as someone who's very elusive, but also very connected to their own subconscious, someone who's left this really deep subconscious impression on them. And just like a fish is slippery and hard to grasp, it's almost as though this person perceives you as difficult to fully comprehend or understand, and yet they have found themselves so drawn to you. And again, part of this draw is because how your inner core of peace seems to leave an effect or wear off on this person and cause them to feel very peaceful, very stabilized within themselves. With the adjacent possibilities card, I feel that the universe is presenting this masculine with an opportunity to choose a different path. Now, they have felt a little bit cornered into this because we also have financial constraints. So they've come up with a lot of constraints, blockages, or forms of restriction in their life that I feel they haven't been fully open about. So, something in their life they're realizing is very limiting or very restrictive. This is something very much of a physical or material nature. So, this could be related to their work, their finances. They feel very entrapped in something, very backed into a corner, very limited in some way. And I'm also getting that they've been very silent about this. It's almost like there's this element of embarrassment that they are feeling so entrapped in this particular situation. I'm also picking up that this has generated some conflict either internally within themselves or with people around them here. This is part of why they've really been seeking you out subconsciously and on the astral plane because you are the embodiment of such a great deal of peace and tranquility and stability. And that is something that this person really feels that they're lacking in their life at this time. For some reason, I'm seeing the imagery of a helmet, like someone removing a helmet. So within that imagery, this may be someone who was trying to protect their head, protect their mind. Maybe they were very closed off from being open to new things, new ideas, new concepts, and you may be someone who really embodies these types of new things and ideas. You are a very open minded person. I feel that connecting with you either platonically, romantically, even just as an acquaintance having a conversation with you necessitates one to begin opening their mind to new concepts and ideas. So when someone is very closed minded, they find it difficult to form a long term deep connection with you. So when this person was wearing that symbolic helmet, when their mind was very closed off here, you may have actually found it very difficult in the beginning to develop depth with this person. So I know we're kind of getting into some complexity here, but essentially, you sensed that there was a deeper soul connection here. I got the name Mark or Marcus. You sensed that there was a deeper soul connection or a contract and you listen to that intuitive guidance. So when you feel that soul pull to someone, you know how to follow that out, even when logically it doesn't make sense. And I can clearly see that logically there were certain things about this masculine that exhibited traits, habits, characteristics. Maybe again they had more of a party lifestyle or were engaged with lower vibrational substances, things, people, conversations that you typically would not get close to or engage with because those types of things just tend to not resonate with your much higher vibrational frequency. Yet completely unexpectedly and unexplainably, you felt pulled to this person. That was that soul pull that we're talking about. It was the activation of terms of some kind of soul contract here. And I am going to channel more into potentially what kind of contract that is between the two of you because I'm very curious about that. But this person was wearing that symbolic helmet, meaning they were very closed minded and were unconscious to the soul contract between you. In fact, on their end, with the sacral chakra coming up here, they thought that they were just superficially attracted to you when what they were actually feeling and responding to was that same soul pull that you were feeling. They just consciously interpreted that as sacral chakra energy, meaning has this superficial physical level of attraction, but it was much deeper than that, and it always has been. It's just that they were very closed minded to any of those types of concepts or ideas, to believing that there could be something deeper than the physical going on between the two of you. But now they are removing that helmet. they are opening their mind to the idea that the two of you share a very special spiritual bond here, and it's making them really frantic to want to establish some kind of long-term connection with you. So I am going to be reshuffling the cards and channeling into the terms of this soul contract that you were able to sense, but that this person may have been unaware of in the beginning. And as I'm shuffling, I also want to share with you a tool that you can use to really shift the energy around this situation and connection. And this is a subliminal meditation that I've created called Love Magnetism. So, subliminals are audio meditation tracks, and these meditations are very unique because they contain affirmations that are embedded within other sounds, tones, and frequencies. And this allows the affirmations to bypass the conscious filter of the mind while you're listening and make deeper, more lasting impressions on the subconscious mind, which is so powerful because it's actually our subconscious that controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life. So when we reprogram and shift what's happening in the subconscious, it's like this powerhouse of manifestation, this fast track to shifting our entire energy and manifesting much more quickly in our lives. Personally, I have seen the most profound results, shifts, and changes in my own life as a result of using subliminals. I started using them a couple years ago and I still use them every single day. In fact, I now meditate with my own subliminals app that I am sharing with all of you through the app stores. So it's available on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. And when you download the app, you can access over 130 subliminals I've created for essentially every area of life, for appearance, mood, mindset, money, physical manifestations, love, relationships, and many other things as well. So there's a lot to explore there. And you can also read the affirmations while you're listening and create your own custom private playlists within the app. So specifically for this reading, I would most highly recommend my Love Magnetism Subliminal because this is designed to clear out any love-related blockages you might be storing energetically in the seven chakras to really help you align more with the frequency of unconditional love, which is the most powerful and magnetic frequency on the planet. So this can be utilized to help you manifest or deepen a connection with a specific person. It can also be used in a more general sense to attract more love and positive opportunities into all areas of your life. So you can find my Subliminals app in the App Store by searching Sound and Soulful, or you can click the link in the pinned comment and description box, and this will take you to a direct download page for the app. So all of that information is below. Okay, let's channel into how the soul contract is coming into play here, what the terms of your soul contract are. So first of all, we're getting a very heavy energy with the Ten of Wands. So I'm picking up that in your soul contract, the two of you decided that you would connect because in part, well, there's many components here that we're going to channel into, but in part, someone here is feeling or was feeling very overburdened by something, feeling very overwhelmed by many things in their life that had all been kind of subconsciously building up. So this may have been you. Maybe you were going through a lot subconsciously, and something about meeting this person kind of got you out of your bubble or broke you out of your shell and helped you to experience something new, brought some new energy into your field, into your life that was really necessary for you. Now, if this isn't applying for you, this could be relating to the other person. So maybe they were going through some very heavy things, and you were almost like this light at the end of the tunnel here. With the Ten of Swords reversed, there's the sense of someone being inspired to really pick themselves up and start pulling their life together after very challenging circumstances or after some kind of hurt or betrayal. So I'm getting this may have been the other person that subconsciously, after meeting you, they noticed this consistent feeling of inspiration to really begin getting their life together or pulling themselves together, thinking more towards their own future instead of just taking life one day at a time. And again, I feel this effect was very subconscious, so they may not have been fully aware at first that you were having this effect on them, but it did become more obvious over time. And now, as it's really clicked into place here, they are frantically desiring to keep you in their life. Now we have the Death card reversed and the Nine of Cups in the reverse position. So although you really inspired this person to start pulling their life together, there were these fears that came up here. This is someone who seems to have a major fear of commitment, a fear of getting entrapped in some kind of connection or relationship that stifles them. Maybe they're a very free-spirited person. They also just might fear change in a general sense. And because of this, they created a situation where they could lose out on something that was actually a wish come true for them. It's like you are this wish come true for them, and I feel you were more open to the two of you connecting long term initially, but when this person treated you superficially or dismissively in the early stages, it may have caused you to become apathetic or lose some of that interest. Of course, only you can say for yourself whether you are still interested in connecting with this person or keeping them in your life in some capacity. This is just what I'm picking up most strongly from the energy. So it's almost like this person may have created a situation where they somehow sabotaged a wish come true for them, being this connection with you because of how they treated it in the early stages, or at least that's really what they're afraid of here and why they are so frantic to be finding a way to keep you in their life long term. Yeah, they're really trying to step up into this King of Wands energy, trying to show you that they are decisive about this, that they can be loyal here. But it's coming off a bit impulsive. I'm getting that if you've seen this from this person, or when you do see this from them, you feel as though it looks a little impulsive on the surface. You might kind of wonder to yourself, where was this energy in the early stages? You might feel a little bit apathetic towards this person at this point, and again, that could differ from person to person. Take that however it resonates. I just feel that what they're meeting here as they try to show you that they can be this leader, that they can be decisive about you and step up, they're meeting your Queen of Swords energy. So it's like they are coming up against, I don't want to call it like a bite here, but it's like you have a very beautiful, soft, warm, healing, creative energy, but they saw that and underestimated that you also have a bite to your energy in the sense that you know your worth, you know how to set boundaries. It's not a harshness, but it's a clarity within you on your own value, your own worth, how you deserve to be treated. And it's almost like they mistook your softness for weakness when actually it was strength, because you are confident enough in your ability to know your worth and set boundaries and know when to pull back. You are confident enough and strong enough in that to allow yourself to be selectively warm and soft with those who are privileged enough to receive that kind of treatment or energy from you. But I feel that You gave that to this person in the beginning, and then when they treated you superficially or dismissively, they got kind of the edge of your energy. They were met with very strong boundaries. So, of course, you get to decide how you desire this connection to be. You can align with an unlimited number of futuristic timeline potentials by shifting your own energy. And if you would like assistance with shifting your energy, of course, I recommend checking out the subliminals in my app, and I will be leaving a link to download the app underneath the video. Otherwise, if you do connect with my energy in a general sense, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. I hope you all have a beautiful, magical remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. I hope you're all doing really well. I am sending you so much love, light, and positive energy today along your journey, and I'm excited to get into today's reading. So, I am going to start off today by shuffling the traditional tarot cards. While I'm shuffling, if you would like to contribute to your energy in a stronger way, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. Now, if you hear me rummaging around here, it's because I am getting out a notebook so that I can write down whenever we touch upon some kind of point that we're actually going to be elaborating on a bit further in our Patreon readings. So, for those of you who don't know, I do channel these main collective reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on those same times and days as well, I do channel an extended version of these readings on Patreon, where essentially we go deeper into some of the messages that were coming up in this reading. So I will let you know throughout the reading if there are certain points we're going to be discussing further through our Patreon reading. But regardless, let's go ahead and get back into the shuffling here. For some reason, I heard the name Claire. I also heard the name Ali for someone. Of course, do keep in mind whenever I channel very specific names, dates, details, etc., these are typically meant for very specific individuals, so don't worry if they don't resonate with you personally, because there may still be many other messages in the reading that do connect with you. I also just like to channel those specific details as they come through, because I know that they can be really meaningful for specific individuals. with the name Claire, I'm also getting that this might not be a name. It might actually be referring to one of the clair senses. We talk about the clair psychic senses. So maybe someone listening here is actually having certain new psychic abilities being amplified at this time. Now, of course, we are all energetic beings, so we are all capable of perceiving energy that we are receiving, and we are capable of interpreting that in conscious ways and essentially translating that energy. So, really, every human being is psychic or is capable of being psychic, of tuning into that energy and translating it. So, it's all about simply being able to unlock those abilities and to amplify them to a greater degree by strengthening those connections between the energy that we are receiving and how we are consciously interpreting it. And for someone listening, I'm getting that you may have noticed recently that suddenly you have certain ones of these abilities that are becoming more conscious or coming online in a new way that you may have not had before. I'm hearing you just know without knowing why you know. So, of course, this would be something that we refer to as claircognizance, where you just suddenly receive psychic knowledge or information, often without having any idea where it's coming from. So maybe if there's someone listening, this is one of those abilities that you've really begun to tap into in a stronger way, where you are, for example, speaking to someone or in a certain environment or in a certain social group or whatever the case may be, and suddenly you have this knowing about something, and then it gets confirmed to you in some kind of a conscious or literal way. So, this is just one small example of how some of these Claire abilities might be coming online for someone listening, but that might be relevant to you and your life at this time. Now, I do have the card, the Five of Wands, in the reverse position. So, for some reason, I'm picking up on what my guides are calling a psychic struggle. There's resistant energy in the third eye chakra. Now, this could be within you, but equally, this could actually be within someone else that you are connected to in some kind of a meaningful way. And what I'm really getting from this card is someone is fighting something that they're being led into intuitively or psychically. Someone is like fighting their intuition on something. But this might actually be past tense because I just realized with this Five of Wands being in the reverse position, this is actually more so of the end of a resisting, the end of a conflict, coming to peace with something, coming to terms with something. I'm hearing come to terms with the way that you receive and feel and sense energy and begin to realize how beautiful of a gift those abilities are rather than fighting against them and trying to fit yourself into some kind of a mold that society has created but that was never meant for someone as psychic, intuitive, and spiritually in tune as you are. I know that's a very specific message, but for someone listening here, what you may have been fighting against is simply your nature as this highly energetically sensitive being that you are. So you may be someone who's always been able to pick up very strongly on other people's energy, on the energy of things around you, environments around you, and there may have been a time where you were really hard on yourself about this and asking, why can't I just be normal or make myself do these things that society is telling me I should be doing, but that I feel I quite literally cannot do because of this energetic sensitivity. And I'm hearing with heightened sensitivity comes a different set of needs personally and boundaries that other people are not necessarily going to understand. But along with that, it comes with massive blessings as well. So I feel there is this shift in learning to really see your energetic sensitivity as this gift that it is, and to begin working with it and within it rather than fighting against it. Now, for someone listening here as well, this might even be more specific than that. So, for a small group here, this might actually relate to something very particular that your intuition has been trying to lead you into or tell you, and that part of you has been resisting or kind of fighting against here. So, of course, only you will know how this resonates for you. And as with all of my readings, my goal here is just to help you connect more consciously with your own intuitive voice within yourself, because it's really that intuition that is the compass of your life experience. Now, I am going to get very specific here. This is probably only going to relate to a couple people, but I feel that someone needs the message that your intuition might be guiding you to cut something out of your life. Now, this could be a particular substance, this could be a particular activity or a food, or maybe it's a person, a connection. It could be really anything, but I'm just getting that you've had this nudging feeling that something is, I'm hearing, inhibiting your frequency in some way. It's like it's resistant to the flow of your life. Whatever this thing is, it's almost like your day will be kind of flowing along so beautifully. And then when you connect with this thing, again, whether it's a substance, a food, an activity, a person, a connection, a place, it's like once you tap into that thing, suddenly you begin to, it's like distort your frequency and you can feel it. Like you can feel as though the flow that you were in becomes very disrupted and your reality starts to feel like it's going very off track. Now, for some of you listening, you might even feel this in your physical body because this gets back to how you are very energetically sensitive and capable of picking up on and perceiving energy. So this might be something that you even feel yourself having some kind of physical response or reaction to that you might label as negative. And you've had this nudging feeling that it's related to, again, whatever this particular thing is in your life, or person, or connection, or job, or place, whatever it is. You know it's not fitting in with your highest reality because it always seems to disrupt your flow or to kind of artificially distort your vibration or your frequency in some way. And for the person I'm speaking to here, it's almost like your intuition has been trying to tell you this, but you've been resisting releasing this thing or letting it go. But I'm hearing just test it out. So you don't have to commit to releasing this thing forever, but it might be a good exercise of self-trust when you're feeling that intuitive nudge, like maybe I should release this thing, at least for now, from my life, or this person or this connection. Give it a trial run and try, even for just a day or a couple days, to release this thing from your routine or from your life and see if the flow of your life, the rhythm of your life begins to improve. So again, I know that's only going to be for a couple people listening. Only take that if it resonates. But for others of you, this resistance in the third eye chakra could actually be someone external who's connected to you, who is resisting intuitive knowings that they're being fed about you and about this connection. Now, if this is relating for you personally, which of course you guys who regularly watch my readings know that we tend to channel into a lot of different threads of energy. So I always say to just take these threads of energy that feel as though they connect with you in a personal way, whatever that is for you, and to leave the rest here. To also keep in mind that these threads of energy can sometimes relate to us internally. They can sometimes relate to an external person, situation, or dynamic. So always take these messages however they connect with you. This is really meant to be an intuitive journey more than anything else. But there's something here about not being afraid to challenge conventionality or conformity. So maybe this thing you're releasing from your life is something that society expects you to participate in, or it's a connection that has felt necessary in your life, or that society or the people around you expect you to be engaging in some way. For others of you, if this is a pattern, whatever this is, I feel like there's something here that you've been expected to conform to, or that just makes sense because society tells you that it makes sense, but somehow it feels resistant to your personal flow. You feel as though it's disrupting your frequency, and you're being guided to actually release this thing from your life and to allow yourself to naturally remain in that high vibrational state that I already really see you consistently aligning with. It's just that there seems to be something or someone or some situation here that's like, in essence, artificially disrupting your frequency. Now, for others of you, this could be related to an external person, and this is someone fighting their own intuition when it comes to connecting with you, because somehow connecting with you represents a lack of conformity. Like, it doesn't conform to something that they expected or that society expected of them, or maybe societal expectations are at play because of certain boundaries or barriers within your connection to this person. What else can I channel here about this person? But again, the fact that it's the Five of Wands reversed, it's almost as though they are coming to terms with something, or they are coming to peace with something. Maybe you are coming to peace with something about another person that you had to separate yourself from, that you really desire to connect with, but that has been disruptive to your flow or to your frequency with this Devil card energy. For some reason, I'm getting a message that the Devil and the Lovers are two sides of the same coin, at least in this scenario. So it almost reminds me of how people talk about how you can't hate a person or a thing unless there is also a really strong love that was there at one time, or a really strong love for something or someone. It's almost as though those two very extreme dynamics can sometimes go hand in hand. And I know some of us have experienced that, where someone seems to flip from absolutely adoring you, loving you, feeling really highly about you, to the total opposite. So I don't know how that's connecting for someone, or why I felt guided to share that. I know that's a bit random, but in this case, I'm just picking up that there is like a potential very strong love connection here represented by that Lovers card, and yet it's showing itself in the physical as this Devil card energy. It's a connection that feels like it's weighting you down. Maybe someone here is dealing with some very heavy patterns or issues in their life that have become very burdensome, not just to them, but to you as well, when you do tie yourself in strongly with this person. I'm hearing that you kept trying to make the Devil into the Lovers. It's like to make this energy of codependence and heaviness, and I'm hearing constant fear or constant anxiety. I don't know why that's coming up here or what is being feared here, but it's like this very heavy, dark energy that you were trying to force to be the Lovers, to be this harmonious, beautiful connection, but it simply just wasn't manifesting as that in the physical. And you found that whenever you're around this person or situation, you begin to feel really blocked creatively. It's almost like you're working against the flow of yourself here with the Magician card in the reverse position. And ultimately, I feel with the Ten of Cups reverse connecting with the High Priestess and the Star, wow, it's almost as though you allowed yourself to feel like you failed at something or to do something that may have looked like an ending or looked like a failure to others. It may have looked like a defeat, but really this was you tapping into your high priestess energy, connecting with your intuition, and making choices that were actually leading you on this highly spiritual journey that others weren't capable and maybe still aren't capable of understanding. And yet, this journey is so powerful, even though it's very mysterious to others. So, this could be in connection with a relationship. Maybe you walked away or you ended a relationship and it was very public. And to other people, this may have looked like an ending, a defeat, something like that. But in actuality, this was you choosing your spiritual journey over the expectations of society, of others, or even of your own past version of self. Wow, that felt like a really powerful message for someone. So, for others of you, if it's not a relationship that you ended, this could be something you walked away from. I'm just getting this sense of quitting, like you quit something, whether it was a job, a relationship, a lifestyle, a way of being. You let something go that to other people was very surprising and even made them kind of wonder about you or talk about you or look at this thing that you were letting go as some kind of defeat. But in actuality, choosing to release whatever this was has sent you on this journey of deep inner healing, this highly spiritual and mysterious pathway of living fully in the now, fully listening to your own intuition, staying connected with that high priestess energy, refusing to care what anyone else thinks or how anyone else judges your journey, because you are so fully rooted in the now and tapped into that open sacral chakra energy. And one byproduct of that is all of that stuck creativity has now broken loose. And I'm getting a very interesting, but possibly very specific message for someone, which is when you were connected with that devil card that you were trying to force to be the lovers, to force it to be something else. Again, it doesn't have to be a connection, but it's like you were in a situation that had the potential to be harmonious, wonderful, everything you'd ever wanted, but it wasn't manifesting like that in the physical. It was showing up as the devil card. It was feeling very heavy. It was leaving you feeling drained, uninspired, but you were, for a time, trying to make it, to force it into that harmonious situation or connection. And during that time when your creativity felt blocked, your guides want you to know your creative energy wasn't blocked. It was actually building up. It was being pent up. It felt like it had stopped, like it had totally stopped flowing because you weren't able to consciously tap into that intuition in the middle of that situation. But the whole time, it was actually being reserved. It was being built up, pent up in a sense. And now it's like the floodgates have broken loose and you have access to a tremendous amount of muse, of creative inspiration. It's almost like everything, all of that creation that you didn't do or felt you couldn't do in that situation or with that person because you felt so creatively stuck and unhappy and weighted down, all of that creativity wasn't lost. It was being built up and now it's breaking loose and it's meant to be shared. And this is how you are processing and healing from whatever that devil card energy was. Because I'm also getting this message that you healed or you freed yourself physically, literally, from this person or situation. You walked away, you quit this thing, you quit this person, you left the job, whatever it was, but you carried some of that devil card vibration still with you, within you. There was still healing to be done because being in that situation for an extended amount of time actually affected you on a really deep level. And I'm hearing you're healing the rifts through allowing yourself to now flow all of that creative energy that was pent up during the time when you felt you couldn't express it. For some reason, I'm hearing you weren't allowed to express it. So maybe this was a person who was very controlling, whether it was a friend, a family member, a boss, a partner, someone who was telling you not to speak your truth or telling you that you shouldn't create or you shouldn't share whatever you are now feeling a desire to share. And it's like by sharing what you felt you weren't allowed to at the time, or you felt that you couldn't, or maybe you just energetically couldn't access it. By sharing all of that now, you are healing a rift within yourself. You are releasing that remnant devil card energy, which stuck with you even after you broke from that person or situation. And this just feels incredibly powerful. It feels like the things you create from that place with that energy. I just got chills. It's like I don't even have the words to describe how powerful your creations are. I saw someone like mining material from a mountain, this really precious material. And it's almost like that situation, although it was very burdensome and took so much out of you, I'm hearing it felt like it took the life out of you. It was like you were mining for something that you couldn't yet use. You were mining it, you were storing it up, you were really draining yourself, yes, but you were storing up this valuable, raw, creative material. And now you've moved away from the mountain, you've moved away from that mine, that situation, but you've kept with you that valuable, raw, creative material that is now flowing through you. It's like the floodgates have completely broken loose, and what you create with this material will be infused with a special kind of power that only could have come through the pain. So this is kind of a full circle where you were meant to be escaping or quitting or leaving that person, thing, or situation. But what you gained, even through the pain, through the hardship, through the burden, has been so valuable. And what you create with it, how you transmute it as the alchemist that you are, is going to be extremely valuable. And I'm hearing not just valuable in terms of healing that rift within yourself, although the guides would like to say that once you do begin to feel the healing effect of that rift, which some of you might already be feeling, you might come to say, wow, this actually was the most fulfilling and valuable byproduct of utilizing this raw material of creative energy. It wasn't the things or the abundance or the wealth or the success. It was actually healing myself, coming back home fully to myself, healing those rifts within that was the most valuable. But with that being said, all of those other things are coming as well. Of course, you are the conscious creator of your life, so only you can know what those desires are personally for you. But whatever those desires are that you have for the material things, whether it is wealth, abundance, success, social connectedness, status, whatever this is for you, all of those things are coming. But the guides are saying that ironically, you're going to find through this process of creating that your most valuable asset you receive out of all of this is that healing of a rift within yourself that you may have been living with for so long you weren't even fully aware was there, or maybe you were denying that it was there. But once that begins to heal, and again, some of you are already feeling this, it's going to be a more fulfilling and valuable experience than anything else that you can imagine. But the thing is, it requires bravery from you because it requires you to speak your truth. It requires you to use the raw material that you mined, most likely during a time that was very painful, that was very dark, that was very lonely for you, to take that and to actually create with it, to mold it, to transform it into something beautiful and powerful, and a key that will also help to free others who might be caught in the same kinds of emotional prisons that you used to be trapped in. Wow, I feel so powerful about this message. Thank you to all of you who are powerful co-creators here along with me. I could not be doing this without you sharing your own energy and intentions with this reading today. I don't think we've ever channeled a message quite like what came through today's video, so let me know in the comments if anything here has been connecting with you. And I know I said we were going to be discussing throughout the reading what we would be talking about on Patreon. But this reading just flowed so powerfully today that I didn't even really have a point to pause and mention that we were going to go deeper on Patreon. But here I will say that if this has been connecting, I really do recommend exploring our extended version of this reading on Patreon, because specifically for this reading, and again, it's felt like a very powerful one, a very transformational one for many of you listening, but we're going to continue that process of transformation on Patreon. We're going to be talking about more of your spiritual journey, like what this is leading to next, the creation that you are beginning to step into using that raw material from your past, and what you can expect to be manifesting as a result of doing that. Any clear messages from your spirit guides or your higher self regarding that whole process, anything you might need to know, those messages will be in the extended Patreon reading, which is linked in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Now we are getting pretty far into the reading because that ended up being a very long-winded but I feel necessary segment. So I am going to be shuffling the energy oracle cards and seeing if there are any other messages that want to come through. Of course, we haven't really talked about love yet, specifically in this reading, although for many of you, that situation that you walked away from, that you derived so much creative raw material from, may have been a past romantic connection or situation that you walked away from. But this feels like new love or new love opportunities opening up. So for some of you, this could be the deepening of a current love connection, new opportunities with a current partner if you are in a relationship. For others of you, this could be new dating or romantic opportunities. This could be someone coming back into your life romantically. We are going to get deeper into this, but here we have carrying connections. So this right away is just feeling so opposite of whatever situation we were channeling into, that devil that you were trying to force into the Lover's card. Now, regardless of whether that was romantic or not, it was a situation that held this really high vibrational potential that wasn't fully living up to that or supporting you in the physical realm. This that's coming through now, this new love, is completely the opposite. It's a person and a connection that shows up for you and supports you and cares for you in the physical realm and actively shows you that care. I keep hearing you don't have to force anything or change anything with this person or situation. It has this feeling of decisiveness about it, but this decisiveness is two-sided. So on the one side, this is you actually feeling very sure, very decisive about this person or situation. My guides are saying if you haven't felt that certainty, that sureness in a love connection, then maybe you haven't met this person yet, because with this person, you are going to reach a point where you just know, where you just feel so sure, where you feel very decisive about them. But it's actually because of how they fully support you and show up for you, and your spirit can sense that. I'm hearing stop gaslighting yourself about past situations where you might be telling yourself, well, maybe I'm asking for too much, or maybe I'm just anxious with this person for no reason. No, you are extremely intuitive, and when you're with a person, you can sense when they are all there for you and when they're not. You can sense when they are supporting you, when they're protecting you. And I'm not talking just physically, I'm talking when they are showing up as your spiritual protector in that connection as well. When they're protecting the connection, you're able to sense that safety and therefore open and like blossom and open your heart towards them. And when you're feeling less than that safety, less than that certainty, very often this is your intuition telling you that either this is not the right person, or even if it is the right person, that they haven't evolved into the version of themselves that they need to be in order to fully meet all of your needs emotionally, mentally, psychically, energetically, and in every other sense, which is really leading me back to, interestingly enough, the beginning of the reading where we were talking about how energetically sensitive you are and how because of this you have very specific needs that society might not understand, and that at times in the past you may have even judged from within yourself. Now it's really coming up in the cards that one of those needs, being someone who is so energetically sensitive, is aligning with a partner or someone romantically who truly protects your energy within that partnership, who provides for you emotionally, energetically, psychically, and spiritually in the ways that you need that are very unique because of how energetically in tune you are. And you deserve someone who understands and honors those very specific energetic and spiritual needs that you have, rather than trying to convince you out of them. So, wow, this feels like a very, very powerful place to close the reading. I am going to go deeper on Patreon into these love messages because I feel such a fresh new energy flowing here in your love life. So, we're going to be looking at what this new energy might show up as in your life. We're also going to open up the reading and talk about anyone or anything that might be connected to you spiritually or energetically at this time. Very often people find that many specific threads of energy that are highly relatable come through those portions of the reading. So again, if this has all been connecting for you, I really do recommend considering joining us next on Patreon, and the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love. Thank you so much for being here today. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I've just been talking so fast because the energy's been moving really fast in this reading, so I was kind of tripping over my words there for a second. But I know that many of you are feeling that fresh, new, pulsating, exciting energy as well. So again, thank you for bringing all of that to the table. If anything here did connect, I would love to hear from you in the comments section. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more energy updates, inspiration, and information. Otherwise, I am going to be closing the reading here. Have a beautiful remainder of your day and week, and I will connect with you here again in Friday's reading.